In a gripping late-season showdown that will be remembered as a classic pitching duel defined by precision, patience, and narrow margins, the St. Louis Cardinals edged past the San Diego Padres by a razor-thin 2-1 scoreline in a game that felt less like a routine regular-season contest and more like a postseason rehearsal under intense pressure, where every pitch carried weight, every at-bat demanded discipline, and every defensive play had the potential to swing the outcome of the night. From the opening inning, it became clear that offense would be at a premium, as both starting pitchers quickly established command of the strike zone, mixing velocity with off-speed deception and painting corners with surgical precision that kept hitters off balance and crowds on edge. The Cardinals starter set the tone early with a fastball that consistently lived on the edges of the plate, pairing it with a sharp-breaking slider that induced weak contact and early count groundouts, while the Padres ace responded in kind with a masterful blend of sinkers and changeups that neutralized St. Louis' aggressive top order. The first 3 innings unfolded in near silence on the scoreboard, with only occasional base runners reaching scoring position, each stranded quickly as both defenses tightened in anticipation of every high-leverage moment. The Padres were first to blink in the bottom of the 4th inning when the Cardinals capitalized on a rare sequence of disciplined plate appearances, beginning with a sharply hit single through the right side followed by a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt that moved the runner into scoring position, setting the stage for a timely RBI double down the left field line that broke the deadlock and sent the home crowd into a surge of controlled celebration, though it was immediately clear that any lead in such a tightly contested game would be precarious. San Diego, however, responded with characteristic resilience in the top of the 6th inning when their middle order finally broke through the Cardinals' pitching rhythm, stringing together a pair of well-placed singles and a sacrifice fly to level the score at 1-1, restoring tension and reinforcing the sense that neither side would concede easily in what was shaping up to be a tactical chess match rather than a slugfest. As the game progressed into the late innings, bullpen management became increasingly critical, with both managers making calculated decisions to preserve matchups and exploit splits, bringing in relievers with high-leverage experience to navigate the narrowest of margins. The Cardinals' bullpen delivered a standout performance, particularly in the 7th inning when a high-pressure situation with runners on the corners was extinguished by a perfectly executed double-play ball that shifted momentum subtly but meaningfully back toward St. Louis. The Padres, refusing to be outdone, answered in the bottom of the 8th with a dazzling defensive sequence of their own, including a diving catch in shallow center field that robbed what appeared to be a sure single and potentially a rally-starting opportunity. Yet the decisive moment of the night arrived in the bottom of the 8th inning when the Cardinals, still locked in a 1-1 tie, mounted what would become the game-winning rally through a combination of patience, situational awareness, and timely hitting. A leadoff walk set the table, followed by a perfectly placed bunt single that caught the defense slightly off guard, and then a sharply lined single to the outfield that allowed the runner to advance to third, creating immediate pressure on the Padres' infield and forcing a strategic pitching change. With the stadium at full intensity and every pitch echoing with consequence, the Cardinals executed a well-timed squeeze play that brought home the go-ahead run, a moment of tactical brilliance that underscored the managerial foresight and player execution working in perfect harmony under pressure. The Padres attempted to respond in the top of the 9th inning, sending their most reliable hitters to the plate in a final push against the Cardinals' closing pitcher, whose composure under pressure became one of the defining narratives of the game. He opened the inning with a fastball on the outer edge for a called strike, followed by a breaking ball that induced a groundout to second base, and then faced the most dangerous hitter in the Padres lineup with the tying run just 90 feet away. After a hard-fought single and a stolen base that briefly shifted the emotional balance of the stadium. However, in a dramatic culmination of the night's pitching dominance, the Cardinals' closer delivered a sequence of pitches that combined velocity and deception, finishing the at-bat with a high fastball that resulted in a swinging strikeout to seal the 2-1 victory and ignite a restrained but powerful celebration among the home team. Beyond the final scoreline, the game stood as a testament to the evolving nature of modern baseball strategy, where analytics-driven pitching changes, defensive positioning, and situational hitting converge to produce contests defined not by explosive offense but by incremental advantages and precision execution. Both teams demonstrated why they are considered strong postseason contenders, with the Padres showcasing depth, resilience, and defensive excellence, while the Cardinals highlighted pitching depth, tactical discipline, and clutch execution in high-pressure moments. Fans and analysts alike noted that games of this nature often hinge on a handful of pivotal plays rather than sustained dominance, and this contest was no exception, as each run scored felt earned through layers of strategic buildup rather than isolated moments of individual brilliance alone. The atmosphere throughout the stadium reflected the tension on the field, with quiet anticipation replacing typical mid-game chatter during critical at-bats and erupting into collective reaction only when decisive plays unfolded, underscoring the emotional investment of both fan bases in a matchup that carried implications beyond a single regular season win or loss. Post-game reflections from both dugouts emphasized respect for the opposing pitching staffs, with acknowledgement that execution at the highest level had dictated the outcome more than any singular mistake or lapse, and that the difference between victory and defeat had ultimately been a matter of one or two perfectly executed plays in an otherwise evenly matched contest.